Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. Today we've got some breaking news from the historic fleet. And unfortunately, it's not good news. When is it ever? The Coast Guard cutter Alert, which was operated as a museum ship in Portland, Oregon, sank at her moorings November 1st, 2021. Alert is a buck-and-a-quarter Coast Guard cutter, 125-foot long vessel. She was built during Prohibition in the 1920s and served into the late 60s when she was decommissioned. And she's been a museum ship in the Pacific Northwest since then. Recently, she has not been open to the public and has had a homeless encampment on board, which as recently as December 2020, the Portland authorities were trying to evict and break up. And pictures of this are absolutely devastating. The ship as a homeless encampment is just covered in graffiti and trash, with a lot of other boats tied up around her. The pictures of her sunk with just the top of her funnel and mast sticking out of the water are also tragic. This eerily mirrors what happened to the submarine Ling here in Hackensack, New Jersey just a couple of years ago, in that the developer who owned the land closed down access to the vessel. The gangway was removed, which happened with Alert last year. And then people started breaking onto the vessel and possibly the vessel deteriorating, possibly foul play was involved with the vessel sinking. With Alert, she has gone down too recently for us to have any additional information. I'm not sure we know even now, a couple years down the line, what happened to Ling conclusively. So it may be a while before more information comes out on Alert. Unfortunately, when things like this happen, when people break onto the ship, things go missing. And it has been reported that some of Alert's parts were being stripped off and probably sold for scrap. So that makes it, each of these problems makes it more and more difficult for the vessel to open as a museum ship. The big takeaway from this is museum ships as institutions are not safe or permanent. We all face very real maintenance problems and monetary problems. And of course, the last 2 years have been extremely hard on museum ships. So be sure to support your local museum ships in whatever way you can. If you can donate money, if you can go out and visit and buy tickets to your ships, if you can advertise for them, post about your local museum ships, whatever you can do to drum up support. If you live close enough to a museum ship to go out and volunteer your skills, that's very appreciated. Alert and Ling are both sad stories that were entirely preventable if those vessels had the support they needed all along, were getting the money to do the maintenance work, were getting the visitation they needed. And that is something that we can all help with. An excellent example of what can be done with community support is what happened to destroyer USS The Sullivans up in Buffalo, New York. She had a severe leak, started to list, that required her gangway to be removed. Access to the vessel was limited, and yet she got enough community support within a very short period of time that they were able to fundraise a dry docking, which is still being planned. It hasn't gone off yet, but that ship is getting the resources that she needs to be preserved long term. There are many other endangered museum ships in addition to Ling and Alert out there, including possibly one in your backyard. So be sure to check the link in the description. I've got a link on the top 10 most threatened museum ships, in my opinion, from last year. That list didn't involve Alert. Clearly that was an oversight. So if you're interested in more about that, there's also a link in the description below to hinsa.org, where there is a map to Historic Naval Ships Association member vessels. So you can find museum ships in your backyard if you would like to contribute to them or volunteer or support them any way you can. Yeah, even if you don't think that there's one near you, check anyway, because there are some museum ships in weird places. They aren't all in coastal cities. Let us know in the comments, what are some museum ships that you think need support? If you guys are interested, maybe we'll update our top 10 most threatened museum ships for 2021, or more likely at this point, going into 2022. We'll do the top 10 most threatened museum ships, and we'll include some of your suggestions and reasonings for that. So I'm interested to hear what your ideas are, or what ships you feel like are endangered. And I can't wait to read those comments. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private institutions. We really appreciate the support. Be sure to check the link in the description for ways you can donate to Battleship New Jersey to keep us from meeting that fate. And you can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out we're out there. Thanks for watching.